So we're not making soap today, but we are going to talk about taking care of our soapy equipment. When you first start making soap, all of a sudden there's accessories, and I love accessories. But today I want to show you how to take care of some of them. Mostly, we'll show you how to take care of your wooden molds and your cutters. So hopefully there'll be a couple tips and tricks that you haven't thought about. I'm going to share a recipe with you today on what I call, this is Bieber's Very Awesome Wood Butter, which is what I use to keep my molds not from getting dry. Keep them from getting dry. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to adjust this camera angle so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll get right to it. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want to click like, it won't hurt my feelings. So here's the thing. I've been soaping a lot. And when I first got into soaping, and I've been soaping for probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years now. All of a sudden, I had to buy soap molds and cutters. And I tried making soap in Pringles cans. I didn't love it. I wanted something that I could reuse. So I started buying molds. And I bought molds that didn't suit my need. And then it took me a couple of years to figure out what I really wanted my bars to look like. And I bought 2 of the one molds because I thought those were going to suit all of my needs. And they do suit a lot of my needs, but not really. My clearing bath bars always go in the Essential Depot silicone molds with the baskets. Those things are mules and they're easy to care for. But I also wanted a tall and skinny mold. And they don't have a tall and skinny mold, so I had to find one. So I got on NutriSoap and I found me a tall and skinny mold. Guess what? Too skinny. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Lowe's and I'm gonna figure out how to make one. So finally I found this one from Workshop Heritage that is it's like a two loaf situation with tall and skinny bars. Bazinga, my fave. So I got 2 of those. But I've been soaping, and I've been soaping a lot. This mold tends to be my mold for samples, like when I want to try something out. But I want to share with you how I clean them and how I keep them up. And also, another thing that we had to have was cutters. And these little guitar string cutters, there's a way to keep them sharp and groovy and not corrosive and all that stuff. And even if you forget one time and leave your soap on, it gets a little smudgy on the string. I'm going to show you how to kind of fix that. So let's start out with soap molds. So soap molds all come with these liners. So we just wash these, and I just wash mine in warm water. I just wash them and get all the scudge off of them. This one needs a little washing. It's not bad, but it needs a little bit of washing. If you have mica and things like this on the outside of these, use your alcohol, squirt your alcohol on it. And I use these towels that I get from like restaurant supply places. They're just bar towels. And they really work well on silicone molds. They clean up mica, they clean up soap, and they're really good on plastics. It's really good on plastic, just plain old alcohol. If I have soap in here, I'm gonna put it in the sink and I'm gonna wash it in some warm water. Now, don't store this out of the mold. Make sure you put it back in the mold when you store it so it retains its shape and you won't get that floppiness that we see so much of. Okay, now let's move on to our actual mold. Now I've been using the heck out of this mold lately, and it's got soap on it. And it's like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get the soap out of these nooks and crannies? Because sometimes we have accidents. So one thing I like to use on these, because we don't want to gouge them, is I got this little doololly, this little scraper situation from Pampered Chef. Now they have these at probably at Dollar Tree and stuff too, but I'll just take it and scratch it along here just like this. It's not gonna scratch your wood off, but look how much soap that got off. And just wipe it on your paper towel or your rag. And this fits right up in this little thing if you get soap in the hole. Soap in the hole or hope in your soul. I probably should delete that. Anyway, just run it through there and you can see how much soap I pulled out of there. I did have a soaping accident in this mold not too awful long ago. And by that I mean last week. So, stuff happens. And we just scrape the soap off just like that. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you don't like the way it looks still, let's say, I'm not happy with this black spot on here. Okay. Take your rubbing alcohol, spray it on there, and just wipe it down really good. You might have to put a little work on it. But rubbing, I know it's like the pandemic and rubbing alcohol is a little bit hard to get, but you can see that little black spot's pretty much gone. Still there a little bit, but not too bad. So, now if you have stubborn soap, I got this at Lowe's. This is a paint guide, or like a thing for you to help do your wallpapering stuff. It also fits in things. It's also great to scrape and it's very gentle. It doesn't have a sharp edge on it. And that's super easy to use to clean all this soap off too. And you can see there's even more soap on there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it filled up pretty good. Just like that. You wipe it on this paper towel and you can see it. We get all this cleaned off. There's still gonna be stains on it, y'all. It's character. So once I get that done, I'll take a paper towel and I make this product called Mrs. Beaver's Very Awesome Wood Butter. I'm gonna leave the recipe for it down below. It's simple. It's just food grade. It's food grade mineral oil and beeswax. And it doesn't matter what color beeswax you use. I had white, so that's what I used this time. And I'm just gonna take a tiny little bit because we just put alcohol in this wood. And we don't want our wood to get dried out and start cracking and have problems. So I'll just take it and rub this on here just like this. I do this to my wooden cutting boards. If you still have wooden cutting boards, I do because I like to set the crock pot on top of it so it doesn't like hurt my countertop. Or the electric skillet or the griddle or whatever I'm plugging in and making hot. But I will just put a thin coat of this on here because it will help the wood stay moisturized. Like I said, I do this to my cutting boards. I also do this to my wooden utensils, like wooden spoons or anything like that. I mean, it's not perfect. Come on, what is? But it's usable, and it's gonna stay usable because I'm taking care of it. And we know how expensive these things are. We do. We know how expensive these molds are. And they're investments. Just, you can totally double dip because nobody's eating out of this. Just like that. Do it on the edges. Especially do it on the edges because this is pressboard stuff or I don't know what they call this, plywood. Anyway, there's lots of layers of wood and that can get dry and brittle and start splintering, and we don't want that. We want to keep these molds forever and ever and ever, just like the Shining girls, right? Those creepy girls, those creepy twins. And then I just set it aside. Okay? And here's my next one. Kind of crazy full of soap. Got kind of crud on it. We'll try with this first. See how we do. Not too bad. Not too awful bad. I always try to do it with the plastic thing first. And then if I'm not happy, I'll go over it with the metal thing. But honestly, I'm usually never happy. I should probably just start with the metal thing. Just run it right up where those planks slide in. So there's this mold. Let's put our situations back in. And make sure you put the silicone liner back in the mold. And we're good for another day. Now, I want to talk to you about cutters. Now, I just use this, so it's ugly. And my soap was too soft when I cut it, but I cut it anyway because I needed to. So, I was impatient. So anyway, these things, and now we have the guitar string. We have all that to handle. This is a brand new situation. How do we clean this? You know, if you forget and leave this, or if you're in a hurry, or if sometimes you're just crazy like me, and you don't clean your guitar string off every time, it'll start getting corroded a little bit. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to clean this up with my good friend alcohol, and also my little scraper situation. So I always like to sit in front of me, and whatever I can see, I clean. So like this front needs to be cleaned. I'm gonna wipe it down with rubbing alcohol and get it cleaned up. Just clean what I can see. If it's in my eye shot, it's coming up. This inside thing is gonna get cleaned up. And alcohol does the trick. I also will take my rag with some alcohol and just clean this wire off. Now, this wire feels pretty good, so I'm not going to do the thing to it, but I got another one that's not so good. So now I'm turning that around, and it looks pretty good over there. So now I'm going to clean where else I can't see with alcohol. I've tried other cleaners on these things, and I don't like it as well as I like just pure alcohol. And I use 91%. I suppose you could do a lesser percent, but it's what I have. I'm just cleaning that off with the alcohol. Okay, so now you see these little inside creases, probably not. See these little inside creases parts? So I'll take my rag and lay it inside, like that. Then I'll take this thing and stick it in, and just scrub up against that. Clean as a whistle, daddy. Okay, so now we're moving this way and we're looking down the middle, and it looks like somebody had an accident. So I'll clean this middle part really quickly. So this doesn't feel too badly, but if it did, if I found corrosion on it, or if it was feeling rough and it was making drag marks on my soap, well, let me just show you the other one. That one's pretty much good to go. So now I have this one that does need to be cleaned, but I really just want to show you on this big thing. So I don't know if you can see this, but can you see how it gets dark in the middle? There's a little bit of corrosion on that. It's because I didn't take good care of it when I first got it. And so I will put the alcohol on it. But I learned this from guitar players. when their strings get corroded like this, you take a very light grit sandpaper and you just scratch it. Just sand over it, very light grit. And then you feel it until it doesn't have bumps anymore. That'll save you from having to change this all the time. Smooth, smooth. No more scudgy marks, or no more, you know, feeling my finger. So there you go. I'm gonna clean this up with some alcohol and get it all ready to rumble for the next time too. But I hope you found at least some of this informative and educational. This little guitar string tip saved me because I was replacing my strings a little bit, I think too often, and once I did that I haven't had to change strings for a while. But I don't like drag marks in my soap, period. Take care of your equipment. I got this from Bud's on Etsy, Bud's Workshop. I got this also from Bud's on Etsy, Bud Haffner. I got that mold from Nurture Soaps. These I got from Workshop Heritage Soap Supply. I haven't cleaned them yet. I will clean them this afternoon, but these are my faves. And my big cutter chunker that has all the bars. I love that too, and I got it from Bud's. But you do get what you pay for, so take care of it. Thanks for watching this. We'll be making some soap here in the next couple days, or probably, I try to drop a video every Tuesday, so next Tuesday we'll be soaping again. And then I have an incense video for you. I don't know, I might not be able to put it up. I said some things I think may not be okay. I don't know. Anyway, please like. If you haven't already subscribed, man, I sure would appreciate it. I didn't say it before, I think I did, but I do love you pieces to pieces. I am at 160 subscribers now. Thank you. Who knew? Thank you. Anyway, have a fabulous week. Remember that your happiness matters. So do something that brings you some joy this week. And we'll see you soon. Bye.